Уважаемый господин председатель,
Distinguished Mr. Chairman, distinguished colleagues, on behalf of the Secretariat of the Collective Security Treaty Organization, I'm pleased to greet the organizers and participants of the informal inter-sessional meeting of the UN Open-Ended Working Group on security of and in the use of information and communication technologies. Undoubtedly, the need for the current highly demanded forum is determined by the ever-increasing global influence of information and communication technologies on the political, economic, defense and other integral components of modern international security. The CSTO member states express concern about the use of ICTs for purposes that undermine efforts to maintain international and regional peace, security and stability. We call on the world community to refrain from the misuse of ICTs to harm information resources, critical infrastructure and other important assets of states. We recognize the unconditional need for prevention of conflicts with the use of ICTs, and for this purpose we call for encouraging and strengthened cooperation between states on the entire range of issues of international information security with the involvement of authorized national agencies. We stand for ensuring international information security on the basis of the UN Charter and universally recognized norms and principles of international law. We emphasize that the UN should play the central role in promoting dialogue among member states on the entire range of issues of ensuring international information security. We note the priority task for forming an international legal regime for regulating the use of ICTs through achieving universally legally binding agreements. We welcome the relevant activities of the UN OEWG on security and the use of ICTs 2021 to 2025. We advocate for maintaining it as a single interstate negotiation mechanism under the auspices. We emphasize the need to develop practical cooperation in the field of countering the use of ICTs for criminal purposes, and in this regard we confirm the strive for adoption under the auspices of the UN pursuant to the mandate of the open-ended ad hoc committee of experts of the Comprehensive International Convention on countering the use of ICTs for criminal purposes. We acknowledge the importance of strengthening the interaction of the CSTO member states on the use of the Internet, including to ensure equal rights of states to access the global network and advocate for increasing the role of the International Telecommunication Union in this context. The CSTO member states proceed from the need to intensify political interaction within the framework of the CSTO Agreement on Cooperation in the field of ensuring information security of 2017. We uphold the key role of the UN in countering threats in the field of the use of ICTs and the importance of continuing efforts within the framework of the Unified Negotiating Mechanism of the OEWG. We reiterate the relevance of creating a global directory of points of contact under the auspices of the UN. Such a tool will be the first step towards establishing a reliable and universal mechanism for preventing conflicts among states that may arise as a result of the use of ICTs. We're convinced that within the framework of these activities it's necessary to clearly define the functional modalities of the directory. While studying existing developments in this area, we should take into account both positive and negative experience of relevant regional efforts. Taking into account the specificity of international information security, it is important to ensure a broad participation of national technical experts in the work of the OEWG. We believe that in the case of computer incidents in information space of the UN member states, most of the concerns could be resolved at the technical level with the competent organization of the interaction of experts. As a regional contribution to the activities of the OEWG, we would like to present the experience of the CSTO Consultative Coordination Center for Computer Incidents Response. One of its main tasks is to organize interaction of competent agencies, including the collection and exchange of information in responding to computer incidents in information space of the CSTO member states. For this purpose, procedures for information interaction of the CSTO-CCC points of contact have been developed. They are intended to formalize the processes of collecting and exchanging information on computer incidents between authorized agencies within the information and technical interaction of CSTO-CCC points of contact. This document defines the main areas and forms of cooperation of states, including in the provision of mutual assistance, as well as the procedure for the actions of points of contact in case of computer incidents. In our view, an equivalent instrument adopted at the international level will allow introducing a uniform system of interaction of UN member states on security of and in the use of ICTs, as well as avoiding politicization of technical aspects of computer incidents response. The agreed procedure will facilitate the establishment of dialogue among technical technical experts, which ultimately will lead to decreasing tension and mistrust in the global information space. Thank you for your attention.